So, hi everyone. Thanks to Per and the VNV team for inviting me to come to present, listen to all the impressive portfolio companies. My name is Björn Kjellén. I'm the CFO of Bokadirekt. Keen to be here to tell you a little bit more about who we are, what we are doing, and where we are going. So, what is Bokadirekt? We are Sweden's #1 SaaS-enabled marketplace for health and beauty bookings. The company was founded in 2009 as a digital booking solution for SMEs, but has grown into a comprehensive SaaS ERP platform for merchants of all sizes within health and beauty, where they run most of their business. In addition to traditional scheduling, staff management tools, we also offer payment services and marketing on our platform. We are today by far the #1 SaaS provider for health and beauty merchants within Sweden. And with 13,000 merchants on the platform and more than 20,000 professional users, we are also the #1 consumer marketplace for health and beauty in Sweden. We're a well-known brand among Swedes, with around 35% unaided brand awareness within the beauty segment. Each month, around 2 million Swedes use our platforms to find, discover, and book treatments. And for those of you not Swedish, that's close to 20% of our population. So I bet quite a few of you in the audience might have our app or even used it in the past month. So while we come from the SaaS side, and subscription revenues are the majority of our revenues, but we have a growing share coming from transaction-based streams from payment services, of course, but also from our marketplace business. We're currently generating around 150 million SEK in net revenues with a double-digit profitability. We're currently a team of around 100 FTEs based here in Stockholm, actually in this very building, with an office in the north of Sweden, in Luleå as well. But looking a few years back, we've been backed by Sprint Capital since 2019. That's when Bokadirekt was acquired by a Swedish marketplace company called Hitta. Soon thereafter, we merged with a national peer called It's Perfect, focusing on the hairdresser segment. And in 2021, we acquired a regional player called Alpaca. Soon thereafter, in late 2021, we welcomed VNV as investors in Bokadirekt in a 30 million euro raise, which separated Bokadirekt from Hitta. And ever since, it's been a standalone company, again, as it was before the Hitta acquisition. Since VNV's investment, we've invested heavily into growth. We've grown the organization, we've broadened our product offering. We launched in-store payments in 2021, added quite a few other types of online payment methods, and added a few marketplace services as well to improve search and discovery and help consumers find offers through our app and web marketplace. In 2023, about a year ago, all of our merchants were successfully migrated to a modern unified SaaS platform. So all Bokadirekt, It's Perfect, and Alpaca merchants are currently operating on the same SaaS platform and on the same marketplace. Over this period, we've grown our revenues by close to 30%, of which around 20% organic year-over-year. And since 2019, we've roughly doubled our merchant base to around 13,000 merchants today. But zooming in a bit on our product offering, we look very much at our business as a platform where we create moats to our competition through network effects, both on the B2B side and the B2C side of the business. But starting with B2B, our vertically focused SaaS ERP offering is currently a system where our merchants can run and grow and do most of what they need to do in their day-to-day business. The centerpiece is, of course, our staff and calendar management module, where our merchants run their daily operations and where we process around 2 million bookings every month. But we also have integrated marketplace and marketing services that help our merchants to activate and retain their loyal customer base, but also to attract new customers to their salons from the marketplace. That's actually one of the most challenging things for small merchants within our segment, to, in a cost-efficient way, generate new customers to their stores. In addition, we also offer a comprehensive suite of payment methods for online and in-store payments, which is fully integrated to our cash register and to the most popular Swedish cloud accounting platforms. So for our merchants, that's a way for them to save time, operate more efficiently, spend more time with their customers and doing what they love, and let us help them create a more efficient day-to-day operation. Besides our core modules, we also offer a growing range of add-on services, such as our journal, which is specifically targeting customers within, for example, the medical beauty segment, and a few other. But moving on to the B2B side, we currently offer consumers in Sweden the booking destination for health and beauty. This is where they can discover, book, and pay for their services. Our app is currently the #1 app in its category in app stores in Sweden. It's larger than apps for the leading fitness chains and activity trackers, and it's got a rating of 4.9 with more than 50,000 reviews in the App Store. So through the app and also on the web, as you can see, our consumers can manage and rebook appointments, they can discover new merchants, and they can search for offers on the marketplace. Like I said, every month, more than 2 million Swedes use our marketplace. And we're proud to say that we have a really high marketplace NPS of more than 70 at the moment. We have generated more than 6 million reviews to our marketplace, and we get about 200,000 new ratings every month and about 50,000 new reviews. So in Sweden, we're actually larger than Google in reviews of booking providers and booking treatments. And it is this strong brand awareness and traffic to our marketplace that really differentiates us both to merchants and to consumers. We have become the go-to platform for health and beauty merchants in Sweden. And with growing traffic to our marketplace, we are able to offer them a cost-efficient way to run and to grow their business. For consumers, of course, we provide convenience by gathering all of the favorite beauty shops in one app and having all the bookings, payments gathered in one place. So with around 13,000 merchants on the platform, we are more than 10 times larger than our closest competitor in the Swedish market, and by far larger than all of our direct competitors. We estimate that we currently have around 35% market share in our core verticals in the market. However, as you can see from the illustration here on the right, we estimate that roughly half of the market is still what we call pen and paper merchants. They actually use pen and paper or more generic booking solutions, such as Google Calendar, to manage their business. And this is, of course, our opportunity to continue to grow, to capture market share, of course, from our competition, but also to help more merchants discover the benefits of a proper vertical SaaS solution. So moving on to numbers here, since VNV invested in late 2021, We have seen accelerating growth, increasing revenues by almost 20% in 2022, growing to 30% in 2023, and approaching 40% in the LTM period. And that growth really comes from all parts of the business. We're growing contract values, we're growing our merchant base, and we see payment and marketplace revenues growing more than 50% year over year. But it's also those investments into the organization and investments for growth that explains the EBITDA level loss that we generated in 2022 and 2023. But on a cash EBITDA basis, so this is after what we capitalize is development expense. So this is after development expense. On cash EBITDA level, we're currently generating around 10% margin in the LTM period as a result of growth and continued sustained high contribution margins. In the year to date to April, we're trending at around 15%, and we expect that to continue to pick up during the year as we grow. So looking ahead, where is Bokadirekt going? We are currently executing on a plan that was set together with VNV and our board to double our revenues in the coming years. And it's really for us to do more of the same. We think that for new, younger merchants entering the market, adopting a SaaS-based ERP solution like Bokadirekt will be the obvious choice. It will be the obvious choice for managing and growing their business, and it will be a way for us to continue to eat into the 50% that is currently offline or on generic solutions. We're also continuously broadening our software and module offering to deepen our collaboration with our merchants, help them work more efficiently, and help us capture a larger share of their business and grow together. So on the payment side, like I mentioned, we currently have a comprehensive set of payment services offered to our merchants, from in-store solutions to a number of ways of paying for bookings online. But although more than half of our merchants currently use some sort of Bokadirekt payments, more than 80% of transactions are processed today outside of our payment services. So that's a huge opportunity for us, and with fast payouts to merchants, strengthening their cash flow, with high convenience, with direct integrations and accounting, we see more and more merchants coming to us and using our payment services. In fact, the adoption is, of course, much higher than that among our newer merchants. On the marketplace side, that's a part of our business that's grown rapidly over the past years with new services, and as we continue to deliver more and more value with more and more density on the marketplace. But each month we process around 1 billion SEK of GMV over our platform, and our current monetization of that GMV is, of course, only a fraction. So last but not least, while we are fully focused on continuing to deliver on that 2x revenue plan organically in our core segments and with our core solution, we have a proven M&A track record after the acquisition of It's Perfect and Alpaca. And M&A could, of course, be an opportunity for us to continue to strengthen our marketplace with more merchants, or to enter into new verticals or new markets, as long as they are complementary to where we are today. So that's a bit about Bokadirekt. That's where we come from, and that's where we hope that we're going in the coming years.
Thank you, Björn. Very interesting. A bit more mature company, maybe perhaps than Breadfast, but still very exciting. And as you said, you're like coming out of a period of heavy investing in the product offering and the organization over the last 2.5, 3 years. We're just seeing, the effect of that in the profitability as well. If you look ahead 2-3 years, where do you think that margin potential is in Bokadirekt and its offering today? Could you talk a little about where we can end up?
Yeah, of course. So thanks. I mean, we, like you said, we brought on a lot of OpEx in 2021, 2022 to achieve this growth, but with more than 90% gross margins across our business, it's a highly scalable model. And we're currently staffed to continue to invest in our platform. We have the organization to make improvements both on the B2B side, the B2B side. We have a sales team in place. We have, most of the people that we need. So we expect profitability to continue to improve over the coming years. And there's no reason why we should not be able to generate, best-in-class SaaS company EBIT margins in a few years.
Thanks. I think we have a question in the middle here.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. I have a question against the backdrop of the cap table that includes both Sprints and VNV, obviously, who's been involved with Hemnet, and this is not too much of a different business model. So are they trying, I guess this is a question for both of you, but are you trying to apply the same recipe, if you will, from Hemnet to Bokadirekt?
I'll let Björn answer. I just noticed that they have one product that's called exactly the same that one of Hemnet's products.
I mean, our business is two-sided, right? We earn revenues from our merchants. That's the majority of our business. That gives us a lot of stability, with more than 50% of our revenues being recurring monthly ticks that can be predicted, a year or two into the future, if there are no shocks. On the B2C side and on the marketplace side, of course, we're trying to learn as much as possible. We're quite impressed with what Hemnet has achieved. And we see the value of having that marketplace dominance as they've been able to build in the Swedish market. So that's what we've been investing towards. We think by continuing to strengthen that and by continuing to deliver more and more services that can help our merchants get more visibility on the platform, that's one service that we currently offer. It's called Raket and gives you more visibility in search results. It's something that we have been copying with pride from Hemnet, of course, but and we think that those services will, eventually both benefit our merchants as they can invest towards growing their business, and the consumers as we continue to improve the search and discovery functionalities on the marketplace.
Yeah, and just a follow-up on that. You say that 50% of the market-ish on the B2B is still pen and paper.
Yep.
So what's the strategy here? Is it to try to capture that 50% and then be more aggressive on pricing, or are we already sort of seeing some price hikes in those LTM growth figures?
I mean, we repackaged our SaaS pricing about a year ago, and that repackaging was done for two reasons. Essentially, we migrated merchants from a few different platforms. We wanted to create a harmonized structure, but we also wanted to introduce a price model which more fairly represented, the value generated from our marketplace. In effect, it improved MRRs per merchant, since we could tap better into where we can see the willingness to pay from the merchants who actually value the marketplace. We think we'll be able to continue to do that within certain cohorts of our merchant base. Of course, it's very different what they want to pay for, what's important for them. Is it retention? Is it current customers? Or is it new customers? But we think we'll be able to continue to offer new services and price them effectively to our existing merchant base. I mean, at the same time, as you can see, with only 35% market share in Sweden, we're not going to let anybody else build a marketplace here. So, we are going after those 50%, of course. That's important for us, and we think we're well positioned to do it.
John? Maybe we wait for the mic. Maybe on that, if you just rank, if you look at top line growth over the next 1 or 2 years, you have pricing power, an increased product offering, and the increase of merchants. So if you should rank them, where do you see the main drivers coming in?
I mean, I think the most important part for us is to maintain platform growth, so continue to grow our merchant base. And we think we'll be able to do that in the high single or low double-digit region in the coming few years. In addition to that, it's really payments that's growing more than 50% year-over-year at the moment, and a more targeted rollout of services, like you mentioned, where we see that our platform model and our marketplace model delivers value to our merchants.
JJ?
Yeah, cool. So just thinking out loud here, but I was wondering if you feel like there's an opportunity to kind of help nudge merchants to opt into dynamic pricing to kind of help fill. I can imagine that health and beauty, there's quite a lot of idle times, overcapacity, that kind of thing. Is there a lot of potential or opportunity that you see? I mean, because you have obviously have direct insight into exactly how their calendars are booked.
Yeah.
So is there an opportunity to kind of help nudge them to kind of opt into slightly lower margin pricing and just to fill up capacity and fill up slots, where obviously, as long as they're making contribution margin to overheads, they should be, in a perfect world, in a rational world, be willing to assume a bit of a haircut.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, for the average merchant, I think filling one more slot every day gives you, 25% revenue boost with no cost. So that's really important. We already do that. Actually, we have one, let's say, separate marketplace offering, which is called Sista Minuten-tider, so last-minute appointments, where our merchants can actively post their availabilities over the coming 18 or 24 hours and, fill up empty spots. It's a commission-based product that we offer them. We also do, as part of the regular scheduling and pricing and planning, we allow them to set flexible pricing for certain slots. But I think when this becomes really interesting, as you allude to, is when you can make it dynamic. And with us processing 2 million bookings every month, we have a fairly good visibility on what will sell out and what will not sell out. We know what the pricing is in the market. So, that's something we're actively looking at, how we can help merchants maximize their business, grow their business, while also helping consumers find attractively priced slots with nearby salons.
Another question from me, unless there's coming 2 questions in the audience, but could you just talk a little bit about the different categories of merchants that, if you look at that broad, what type of merchants do you have on the platform? And what are the most obvious next, potential verticals where you think you could go in and convert more merchants?
No, so I think we're fairly representative of the market in general. So looking at our merchant base of around 13,000, we have around 20% hairdressers and, a little bit less than that in massage, and the rest is really, a long tail of nails and lashes and medical beauty and foot and whatnot. When we think about vertical expansion, it's really from a marketplace perspective. So where can we find merchants that our customers already go to, and where they can, with credibility, book them and find them through our apps. Without saying any specifics, that's how we're thinking about, and actually how we're currently acting on it as well.
Thank you. Do you have a question over there first?
Yes, if you could give some color on the healthcare allowance, friskvårdsbidrag. How much is paid through that today, and how much do you see that would increase the coming years?
Yeah, so I mean, in Sweden, the healthcare allowance, for those of you who don't know, is a tax-free stipend from employers to employees of a few hundred euros a year. What makes you qualified for the healthcare allowance is really the service you provide. And, a meaningful part of the services on our platform are allowed for for this wellness stipend, particularly within massage. And this is one part of our business where we've seen a lot of demand in those wellness segments over the past years, and where we can see that part of that is, of course, fueled by those government or employer subsidies.
A quick question regarding sort of the difference between market penetration in the Swedish market versus geographical expansion.
Yep.
How are you thinking about penetrating that additional 50% of pen and paper merchants versus going to, let's say, Norway and Denmark to expand in those regions as well?
I mean, for us, if we can acquire one additional customer at the same unit cost in Sweden and in the new market, we will go after the Swedish merchant every day. Because in our offering, although our SaaS offering is best in class and offers more than all of our competitors do, that's where we create the most value. So for every new merchant that we add to the platform, we don't only like grow our business, grow our revenue, but we also create more value on the marketplace. So that's why we will continue to invest in Sweden, and there's no barriers as of now for us to double our business in Sweden. But I mean, of course, the Nordics it's an interesting region for us, and our business is quite scalable. But entry into a new market will also most likely be with a marketplace perspective, at least on the midterm.
Just curious on the last or the previous question on filling gaps and empty slots and so on. Do you have your own sort of solution to send out reminders or so, or do you work with CPaaS providers?
We have that integrated into the platform. So our merchants, they have a small CRM, if you will, in their ERP solution, where they can filter out. They can see that you haven't done your nails or been to the hairdresser in the past 6 weeks, and you probably should. And that's the way that they can work to sort of activate their existing merchant base. They do that from our platform. It's also through our platform that they can post discounted sort of last-minute slots to fill out with, potential new merchants, new customers to the salons.
Thank you. And unless there's any more questions in the audience, I think it's time for a 15 to 20 minute break. And then we will come back for you online as well with BlaBlaCar. So see you in 20. Thanks.